Peace is not something you search for, it is something you create inside yourself. When you master the present moment, you master your entire life. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by tall blue mountains and endless green fields, there lived a 24-year-old young man named Abraham. Abraham was a good-hearted person, but his mind was constantly troubled. His thoughts never stopped running. All day long, different worries came and went like strong winds. Memories of the past that hurt him, fears of the future that made him anxious, and imaginations that made him feel restless. These endless thoughts drained his energy. He felt tired even without doing any work. Night after night, he struggled to sleep, and day after day, he forgot how to smile. His mind felt like a storm that never ended. One day, Abraham heard people talking about a faraway village hidden deep in the hills. They said a wise old man lived there, someone who used to be a famous psychologist in the city. He had spent his entire life helping people overcome stress, fears, sadness, and emotional pain. When he grew old, he left the noisy city behind and started living peacefully in a small, quiet village close to nature. Sometimes people traveled from distant places to seek his guidance, and he helped them understand their minds. When Abraham heard this, a small spark of hope lit inside him. Maybe this wise man can help me find peace, he thought. For the first time in many months, Abraham felt a little courage in his heart. He decided he would meet the old man no matter how long the journey took. After many days of long and tiring travel, walking through forests, climbing steep paths, crossing streams, and resting under open skies, Abraham finally reached the peaceful hill village. As he entered the village, he saw a small wooden house covered with green vines and flowers. On the porch, an old man sat quietly with his eyes closed. He looked calm, like still water, peaceful, like morning sunlight. Abraham immediately felt something different simply by standing near him. He walked toward the old man and spoke softly, almost as if he feared disturbing the silence around him. "Grandfather, my mind is very restless. I cannot stop thinking. I feel tired, sad, and scared all the time. I want peace in my heart. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes and looked at Abraham with a warm, gentle smile, the kind of smile that makes a person feel understood without even saying anything. "So, you are searching for peace? Then come with me. I will give you a small task." Abraham followed him to a small yard. The old man took a glass and filled it with water, completely full, right up to the edge. The water was so close to spilling that even a slight movement would make it overflow. He handed the glass carefully to Abraham. "Walk from here to the edge of the village and return. But there is one condition. You must not spill even one drop of water." Abraham was surprised. What kind of lesson is this? He wondered. But he respected the old man's wisdom and accepted the challenge. Holding the glass with both hands, he began to walk. The village road was narrow and lively. Children were playing, people were chatting, shopkeepers were calling customers, birds were chirping, and dogs were barking. But Abraham did not look at anything. His eyes stayed focused only on the glass. Step by step, slowly and carefully, he walked forward. He didn't let anyone distract him. His entire attention was on making sure not a single drop spilled. People watched him with curiosity, but did not disturb him. They knew the old man always taught lessons in unusual but powerful ways. Finally, after walking through the entire village and returning to the starting point, Abraham reached the old man again. Smiling proudly, he said, "Grandfather, I did it. I didn't spill even one drop of water." The old man nodded, pleased. Then he asked, "That's good, Abraham, but tell me, while you walked, did you see the children playing beside the road?" "No," Abraham replied honestly. "Did you hear the dogs barking?" "No, I didn't notice anything," Abraham said, confused. "My mind was only focused on the glass." The old man smiled again, this time even more gently. "Abraham, this is the secret you have been searching for, something that was inside you all along. When your mind stays in the present moment, completely focused, there is no space left for fear, worry, sadness, or confusion." He continued, "While holding that glass, you were not thinking about your past. You were not worrying about your future. You were not bothered by what others were doing. You were living fully in the now. At that moment, your mind became silent. And when the mind becomes silent, peace naturally appears." Abraham felt something shift inside him. Slowly, like sunlight spreading at dawn, he began to understand what the old man meant. Peace was not something outside that he needed to search for. Peace was already within him. He simply needed to learn how to keep his mind in the present moment. Abraham bowed his head respectfully. "Grandfather, now I understand. I was lost in thoughts of yesterday that I cannot change, and thoughts of tomorrow that have not even happened. I was living everywhere except in this moment. But when I focused only on the water in the glass, my mind became calm. So this is the key, the present moment." The old man placed a gentle hand on Abraham's shoulder. "Yes, my child, when you live in the present, your mind becomes peaceful. When you focus on the now, your heart opens, and when your heart opens, life becomes lighter and more beautiful. Peace is not a place, it is a habit, a practice, a way of living." As the sun began to set, golden light spread across the village, touching the ground like warm silk. Birds flew back to their nests, the sky turned orange and pink, and the cool evening breeze carried the scent of flowers. Abraham stood there silently, feeling a calmness he had never felt before. He turned to leave, but he was not the same person who had arrived. The restless, worried young man was gone. In his place stood someone who had finally learned how to guide his mind, someone who had discovered the hidden peace within himself. With a peaceful heart, Abraham began walking back home. Each step felt lighter. Each breath felt clearer. The storm inside him was finally gone.